Adab and welcome everyone. I am Sanjeev Das, undergraduate student of Business Administration at Shahjalal University of Science and Technology. Today I will presenting the demand. At first, we need to know what is demand. So, demand is the willingness and ability of buyers to purchase different quantities of a good at different price during a specific period. Some characteristics of demand can be found. Number one, demand is measured on a fixed time basis. Number two, demand is considered for a particular product. Number three, the needs of a particular place or person may change with changing condition or market perception. Demand can be different types, such as price demand, income demand, direct and indirect demand, joint demand, cross demand and alternative demand. Number one, price demand. Price demand dependence of demand on price, and income demand. Income demand dependence of demand on income, and direct and indirect demand like food direct demand and production materials is indirect demand. And number four, joint demand. When the product is consumed, more than one product is required. For example, milk, tea leaves, sugar, aids. Number five, cross demand. Cross demand, also known as cross price elasticity of demand, measures how the quantity demanded of one good change in response to change in the price of another good. For example, if the price of tea rises, the demand for coffee might increase because consumers switch from tea to coffee. And number six, alternative demand. Alternative demand typically refers to the demand for alternative products or substitutes. Next, we move to the law of demand. Law of demand. As the price of a good rises, the quantity demanded of the good falls. And as the price of a good falls, the quantity demanded of the good rises. All the other factors remaining constant. When the prices increase, the quantity demanded it also decreased. When the prices decrease, the quantity demanded it also increase. Causal effect of relationship law of demand. QD equal to function of P, where QD means dependent variable, P means independent variable. Another relationship law of demand. QS equal to C minus BP, where C means intercept and B means slope. Next, we move to the causes of downward demand curve. A downward demand curve is a fundamental concept in microeconomics, and it typically arises due to several factors such as law of demand, income effect, and negative slope. Number one, law of demand. According to law of demand, as the price of a good decrease, the quantity demanded increase, assuming all other factors remaining constant. As the price of a good increase, the quantity demand decrease, assuming all other factors remaining constant. This inverse relationship between the price and quantity demanded is represented by a downward sloping demand curve. And second one is income effect. When the price of a good decrease, consumer effectively experience an increase in real income, allowing them to purchase more of the good. This leads to an increase in quantity demanded and contributes to the downward slope of the demand curve. And third one is negative slope. We know that demanded equation is Q equal to A minus BP, where Q equal to Q means quantity demand and P means price, A and B constant. From the equation, we can find that dqp by dp should equal to minus b. Since the slope of the demand equation is negative, it shows an inverse relationship between the price and quantity demanded. So the demand curve downward. Next, we move to the determinants of demand. First determinant is price. This is perhaps the most significant determinant. As the price of a good increase, the quantity demanded typically decrease, and the price of a good decrease, the quantity demanded typically increase, assuming all other factors remaining constant. And second determinant is price of related goods. There are two types of related goods, such as substitutes and complements. Two goods are substitutes if they satisfy similar needs or desire. For example, tea and coffee. If the price of a substitute increase, demand for the original good may increase. Complement is the two goods that are used generally in consumption. For example, tea and sugar. If the price of a complement increase, demand for the original good may decrease. And third one is income. Change in consumers' income levels can significantly impact demand for normal goods. As income increases, demand typically increases. For inferior goods, as income increase, demand may decrease. And number four, number of buyers. The total number of consumers in the market affects the demand. More buyers typically lead to increased demand, while fewer buyers result in decreased demand. And number six, seasonal factors. Seasonal factors, some would experience change in demand based on the time of year. Next, we move to the causes the demand curve to shift rightward and leftward. We know what an increase in demand and a decrease in demand mean. An increase in demand means that consumers are willing and able to buy more of a good at every price. A decrease in demand means that consumers are willing and able to buy less of a good at every price. If increase in demand, demand curve rightward shift. If decrease in demand, demand curve leftward shift. There are factors that cause the demand curve to shift leftward and rightward: price of related goods, income, taste and preference, number of buyers, expectation of future price. First one is price of related goods. Changing the price of substitutes or complement can affect the demand. If the price of a substitutes increase, demand of the original good may increase, shifting its demand curve to the right. If the price of a complement increase, demand of the original good may decrease, shifting the demand curve to left. And second one is income. When income increase, the demand for normal goods tends to rise, shifting the demand curve to the right. For inferior goods, an increase in income may shift the demand curve to the left. And third one is taste and preference. Changing consumer preference can lead to shift in the demand curve. If a product becomes more popular, the demand curve shifts to the right and vice versa. And number four, number of buyers. An increase in the number of buyers generally increase demanded, shifting the demand curve to right. A decrease in the number of buyers shift the demand curve to left. And number five is expectation of future price. If consumers expect price to rise in the future, they may increase current demand, shifting the demand curve to the right. If consumers expect to fall, they may delay purchase, shifting the demand curve to the left. These factors are causes the demand curve will shift it rightward or leftward. Next, we move to a change in demand. A change in demand refers to a shift in the demand curve. So, in the in the changing demand curve, price always remaining constant and quantity demanded is always changing. We see that when the quantity demanded is increasing, demand shift to the rightward. When the quantity demanded is decreasing, demand curve shift to the leftward. Next, we move to the changing quantity demanded. So, a change in quantity demanded refers to a movement along a demand curve. A change in quantity demand is movement from one point to another point on the same demand curve that is caused by a change in the price of the goods. In the curve, we can see that when the price is P1, the quantity demanded is also Q1. When the price is P, then the quantity demanded is also Q. And when the price is P2, then the quantity demanded is also P2. These points A, B, and C indicates the movement along a demand curve. Thank you, everyone.